Good morning. Got a little farming news for y'all. You may or may not know China is the United States' biggest customer for our soybean crop. We need trade deals with them pretty bad because they buy the biggest majority of our soybeans. Argentina and Brazil, down in South America, they're our biggest competitor in soybeans and corn. Sometimes they'll raise 2 or 3 crops of corn. They always raise a big soybean crop. But Argentina is a huge competitor for the United States. Well, this week, Argentina lifted a tax, a commodities export tax. I don't know the exact name of what it was, but they lifted a tax on exporting commodities, grain, stuff like that. Well, in 2 days' time, China made a really good business deal. They bought 84 million bushels of soybeans from Argentina. That's 30 cargo ships worth in 2 days' time. Good business move by China. Don't blame them at all there. Well, in the meantime, Argentina stopped that, put tax back on because they hit their quota. Well, last night there...
Ryan Gibbs here with Singular Agronomics, Gibbs Field Ag. We're in our non-GMO soybeans here today. Northeast Iowa, we're at 32 to 34 inches of rainfall on these. Planted around 110,000 population. Really happy with what we're seeing so far. Top things that we did to these beans where we knew we could get a return on investment. Also switching the program up. We did liquid potassium acetate, foliar, amino acid micros, a little extra copper, fulvic, some yucca, and some sugar. Real simple application late season after second pass herbicide. Really happy.
This is a soybean. Right now, millions of tons of these are sitting in fields just like this, with nowhere to go because of Washington's trade wars. Americans already pay 86% of the tariffs, and now Washington's idea of a solution is to take even more of your money to bail out farmers for a problem that they created. If Washington won't be serious about helping the American people, I will. Soybeans aren't just food. They can become crayons, paints, candles, even road materials and machine lubricants. Every one of these is an opportunity for new small businesses right here in Tennessee. Local people helping local farmers. New businesses helping local communities. That's how we take back America. And if you send me to Washington, I'll clear the red tape and open doors so these opportunities...
And if it haven't happened to you, then you can't tell. You can't relate what's happening in the world. You can't imagine how can something humble someone to a level that he can't even express himself on how he's feeling, because he thinks like somebody elsewhere is feeling the same way. But it's happening to the people of America. America are now really suffering because of their own stupid moves, their own choice, their own interest. This is Global Tells. Subscribe, share, and leave a comment for this new video. Because tell me how a country is being used by the president who they believed in him. They're now suffering. They're losing jobs. They're being laid off. They're being sent home. They can never afford life any longer. So I have here clips. Watch them, and I'll come back and tell you more about. I'll comment my view on how things are happening. But meanwhile, comment below and tell me what are your views. I'm not asking you to subscribe, but if you feel like you should subscribe. But I'm not asking you to subscribe, but just watch the video and then give me a view.
The level of urgency is especially high right now for Minnesota soybean farmers. They're right in the bullseye for tariff retaliation, and their biggest export market is now a black hole.
Nothing's moving. Nothing's moving.
China usually buys $12 to $13 billion worth of American soybeans every year, but they haven't bought any in months. Instead, they're importing for the first time from Argentina and expanding long-term contracts with Brazilian farmers.
It's going to be tough to get some of that business back that we're losing. Retaliatory tariffs has caused us to be less competitive in the global marketplace.
In the short term, most soybean farmers will harvest their crops and either sell them at a loss or pay to store them, or a little of both. But they can only last so long with income at or near zero. And it's not just soybeans. China has curtailed its imports of American corn, wheat, and sorghum.
There has been times like this in the past, and we've gotten through it, and I know we will again. We just need to make sure that we are making trade deals and get them done in a timely fashion.
The first Trump administration gave farmers a $28 billion bailout after a 2018 trade war, but some analysts say China was better prepared this time, so this battle could rearrange the global trade map.
Sometimes it comes to a point whereby we can't take things anymore. We can't take control of some other things that we are. We were the one who asked for them. We are the one who act like we don't see them coming to our way. So Americans, people believed in Trump, that they gave him the power to rule them. But then the people of Arkansas are suffering. Because tell me how China has been the only imports who have been buying soybeans from America. Today, Chinese have been buying up to 60+%, 60 to 70% buyers of the soybeans in the US. But now, they have bought, this year, September, they have bought 0%. Tell me how Trump is fucking people. Tell me how Trump is fucking the people's effort. Because China now have moved to Argentina and Brazil because they want to buy affordable. No, they are buying, but in that manner, Brazil and Argentina are selling the soybeans on a cheaper price. Mind you, China is the most importers of the soybeans because soybeans is a staple food in China. So it happened that China can no longer buy soybeans from Americans due to Trump's tariffs. Trump is making people look like they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how much they should be focusing on some things. Trump is making people look like they don't have the power. They don't have the voice. All the power belongs to people of America.
Farmers are now begging. Farmers are begging for the current administration to make a trade deal with China for soybeans. Begging. There is no trade deal. It's the end of August for soybeans for farmers in the United States. Do you want to know what percentage that we sent to China? 60 to 70% of soybeans were sent to China. China has moved on. China has moved on to Brazil. China has made deals with everyone else. China has put this administration on ignore. But I don't want you to feel sorry for farmers. Do you know why? Because he did exactly this to farmers for soybeans, losing them about $10 billion in 2018. Please Google this. Please Google it. And they voted for him again. And a lot of them say they would vote for him again, even though bankruptcies are the highest they have been in years for farmers. There are no trade deals for soybean, nor will there be. China, checkmate. US, zero.
What are all those starving soybean farmers in the Midwest going to do with the 55 billion pounds of soybeans that China's not buying this year? I know Iowa is going to go nuts for making their own soy milk, and I know that Arkansas is going to go nuts for tofu. I'm sure they're going to love their own homemade miso in Indiana, and I know those North Dakotans are going to love soy yogurt. In Missouri, they can send their kids to school with some whole roasted soybeans for snack and then make their own veggie burgers for lunch and dinner. I have never met a person in the Midwest or the South that doesn't love a good veggie burger. Have you? And no more Baskin Robbins on a hot summer day in Wisconsin. You won't need your healthy cows because you can make your very own soy ice cream. And it doesn't stop there. Are you going to be cold this winter and you can't afford your heating bill, but you have a ton of extra soybeans, literally? Well, just simply learn how to make your own spray foam insulation with soybeans. Maybe they can make their own biodiesel too. That doesn't sound complicated at all. See, you don't need to blame others. You can just pull yourself up by your own soybeans. Or you could have voted for Kamala, but I guess she had a funny laugh. Right?
We are being forced to bail out another country's farmers at the expense of our own. EC plans to send Argentina $20 billion in economic assistance. And what does Argentina do? They cut their export taxes and sold shiploads of soybeans to China in just 2 days. Meanwhile, farmers right here in Arkansas are left behind with falling prices and no market. I have been an Arkansas soybean farmer my entire life until this year, when a deepening farm crisis forced my family to close a 150-year-old operation, and we weren't alone. And now this is coming for even more of us. Politicians like Tom Cotton are letting DC put Argentina over places like Arkansas. As a farmer myself, that is something I would not allow. I will fight for trade policies that put Arkansas farmers first, every time. I'm Hallie Schaffner. I'm the 6th-generation Arkansas farmer running to unseat.
So, in my own word, in my own way, I can say that America is being shown the other way, the other side of the coin. Because they have been being used to soft things, soft life. They just make things, they do things the way they feel like. But now, they are suffering because of their own mistake. They only thought of, they are white, we are black. Now, after Trump saying that he will deport everybody in the country without document, they thought that it was a joke. Okay, they were okay with it because they were like, black people are in America and they're taking their jobs. So they were like, well, if Trump gets in the power and deport them back to their countries, we will have jobs, vacancy everywhere, all over.
Deportations hurt Americans too. The economic and moral cost of removing undocumented immigrants. This is from a recent article from WAMC.org. Mass deportation of undocumented immigrants like Amy Lutima and her son in New York offers no real benefits to American citizens or green card holders and may harm them economically and socially, despite political rhetoric claiming deportations raise wages and strengthen social cohesion. Data shows that most deportees are non-criminal workers filling essential low-wage jobs Americans rarely take. Now, the deportation disrupt industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, driving the cost up, and labor shortages as well. Historically, immigrant communities have built America's economy and culture, and today's policies risk tearing the fabric apart, undermining both the local communities and the national economy in the process. And we're continuing to see that with a huge labor force disappearing before our very eyes. My name is Ruby Powers, your go-to immigration attorney.
This ain't about farmers, it's no longer about farmers only. It's now about the whole country. The whole country is suffering. The whole country is hurting them, and they can't do anything about it. Because Trump is fucking them so hard, so bad. They can't even imagine how much they believed in him and how much they will be investing in the farm. So soybeans are there, yes, in America, but there's nobody to buy them. Mind you, remember, China has been buying up to 60 to 70% of soybeans. They import us from America. So if the only buyer is now shifting to some place to buy something to, let me give you an example. I have here a shop, Then my buyer are like 50% more than other buyers, more than other things in my shop. And then all of my buyers move to the other shop. What am I remaining with? 0 buyers. So my product will be there, but there's nobody to buy them. So America have been toiling, have been working so hard, have been doing this for themselves, but now they have been doing nothing. All effort has gone in vain because of one slight mistake, believing in Trump and voting for him for the 3rd time. Until when will America wake up and know that Trump is a wrong person to them? This is Global Tales. Share and leave a comment to this video. I don't ask you to subscribe. Just if you feel like this video is entertaining and educative, informative, subscribe. But if you don't feel like subscribing, just watch and give me a view. I'm out, and peace be with you.